Fans falling off roofs, chasing referees, and fights in the Black Country Derby. English football heritage.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack Crow.
Yes, mate, all good. All good.
Nice weekend?
Yeah, it was alright. It was pretty quiet for myself, but yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, it all started off on the Friday night, didn't it?
Yes.
Man City came to town.
Yeah, it was a pretty disappointing game, but still enjoyed the night and day and whatever else. It was good.
Yeah, that's
good
good
weekend for yourself?
Yeah, it was good. Quiet one Friday night in. And then Saturday night went for a nice curry that you recommended. Yep. Seven Elephants, shout out in Chelmsford.
If you're listening.
Down New London Road, is that what that place is called?
Right next to the courtyard and all that. Yeah.
No, very nice, very nice. But we are back with another episode 81, and it is just Jack and I tonight.
Yep.
No Dave Kitson.
No, sadly not. He didn't want the follow-up, but... Yeah.
But no, thank you very much, Dave, for coming on, and everyone that has shared that and given us feedback on it and enjoyed that one. And it's on YouTube and all the other platforms as usual. And we ourselves really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good.
And we'll talk about that later on in the show. Obviously, we'll start off our teaser first thing coming up, and then we'll go on to the breaking news about Jürgen Klopp leaving Liverpool. Moving on to like a talk about Spurs Man City on Friday night. We'll touch on the Ipswich game and the FA Cup and West Brom Wolves. Between Mick, Jack and I, we'll have a little review of the Dave Kitson episode, like what the things we liked and the feedback we've had came back from that. We'll do our weekly prediction. Me and Jack are going to play a little game of Who Am I? And then we'll end with our winners and losers. But, as usual, let's all start on the teaser. And Liverpool and Chelsea both secured their place in the Carabao Cup this past week and face each other on Wednesday night at Anfield. Can you name 8 players to have played for both clubs in the Premier League?
Okay.
I have a list of 14, so I thought 8.
8's good, yeah.
A little bit above halfway.
Okay.
But whilst talking about Liverpool, let's start with the big news that came on Friday morning. Jürgen Klopp will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season after 9 years. I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone did, really, and it was a surprise. I was shocked, really. He said himself, didn't he? I think he said in the interview or press conference that you're better to leave slightly earlier than overstay your welcome, and that is an absolutely fair and valid point, and it does usually end quite sour with managers and when they leave and whatever else. But yeah, that was a shock for me, that for sure.
Would you know where you were when you found the news?
I was just at work.
It's one of those. I remember I'll be maybe a bit too much information. I was on the toilet, doing number 2, on the work phone scrolling, and then just scrolling through the old Daily Mail gossip channel. And then pinged Jürgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool. I thought, nah, mate, this is having me on here. Went back to my desk on the computer, had a little quick look, and I said, Jesus, it's everywhere. Yeah. So it completely caught me off guard. But like you said, sometimes it is potentially better to leave at the top of your game. And it might sound cliche, but not many things really surprise me in football now. But that was one.
I'd say, that him leaving, or when Pep leaves, or if Pep leaves, that those two will be that is the biggest thing, I think. He was about 8.5 years, or the end of this season it'll be 9 seasons, I think. 9 years. Arrived in 2015 when that season finished. They finished 8th. They were 10th at one point. And then after that first season, he didn't finish lower than 5th. So, it's probably a bit, might sound ridiculous, but when you think of Liverpool, you think of Gerrard, Shankly, you think of the miracle in Istanbul, and Klopp now is, in that same conversation, really, I think, and especially for Liverpool fans.
Oh, definitely. And I was actually chatting about it with a bloke at work today, and it's how do you what's the word I'm looking for? Quantify his achievement at Liverpool, and it's more than just trophies, because his trophies have been good. But if I'm being really cynical, and I hate to say this, but he's won 1 Premier League and 1 Champions League in 9 years. Obviously, he's won domestic cups and that. Although he has got to 3 Champions League finals. He's had a 99-point season and a 98-point season, I think, and not won the league with either of them two. That's just the beast we're up against with Man City and the whole league we're up against. You have to classify those seasons as successes.
Yeah,
You just have to.
Yeah, if you compare that to any our clubs, for example, Man United in the last 7-8 years, he's been incredible. I dislike him all his moaning and complaining, but the thing you can say that if it's your club, if it's Liverpool, he's your manager, then you have nothing bad to say about him at all.
I remember when he took over from Brendan Rodgers, and they were all a bit fed up with Brendan Rodgers. He'd take them as far as he could. They had the infamous Gerrard slip season, where they probably should have won the league. They never really got over the line. But Klopp's taken them to that level. I think he took them to a Europa League final, and then maybe a Carling Cup final. They lost to City or whatever, and then they went to the Champions League final. Lost it originally to Real Madrid and the Gareth Bale goal. And then they went on to the Champions League final to beat yourselves. And then the lockdown season, they walked the Premier League. They absolutely they won it by 20 odd points, first league title in 30 years. But in them seasons, they did have the historic battles with Man City. When they finished, was it 99 points and lost one game all season? And didn't win the league?
I think they won the league, 97 points and they didn't win it. It's just outrageous. Yeah, won the Super Cup, Club World Cup.
He's won everything, hasn't he?
He's won 6 major trophies, domestic competitions, whatever, and and this season it could end potentially with 4 trophies. Really, he's still in every competition. Obviously, still well within the race for the title for the league. They could obviously win the Europa League as well. So it could end in a brilliant way for them.
And football goes around in cycles. Really, you have. I remember Fergie had the late 90s into the early 2000s, and then they didn't win the league for 3 years, and everyone was like, is Fergie going to leave? And they then rebuilt. Chelsea came up with Mourinho's first Chelsea, and then when he left, they then had to rebuild again. Arsenal have tried to rebuild since 2004, and are still trying. They rebuilt in a let's play Barca light football and had small players, but that never really came to fruition much. Even looking at your club, when you had... Your peak was the Champions League final of that whole young team together. That never got the added financial input it needed, and then that dispersed, and then came to where we are now. With you've gone through other cycles, and this Liverpool team looked like last season. They had a rubbish season last year. There's no two ways about it. Was that the end of the cycle? Were these players then coming to the? They come to their peak and then they left, because obviously Firmino had a poor season. Mane was sold. The front three is now dispersed, and you've got Diaz there, you've got Nunez, and Salah's still there. But next season, I think Van Dijk will start off being 32, 33, same as Salah.
He's come out and said he's sort of 50-50 on what's going to happen in the future when Klopp leaves. So, but I think I thought that this season there was obviously a rebuild after last season, like you said, the players that were going and new players coming in, and it looks like he sort of set them up with from my view, that I thought he's going to carry them on for how long, but maybe he's under the impression that he was going to do this, and then he's got to a point and go, right, I'm quite happy with what's happening, it's my time to leave, and maybe that's what he's obviously the decision that he's come to. But
I think he clearly wants to leave him in a good place, like you said. He didn't want to leave him. I mean, they finished 5th in the end last season, but for most of it...
Let's have a bit of a dig, but like Ferguson left United with... Ferguson was brilliant, and he had that side, and they were brilliant, but then as soon as he was gone, they were left... You actually saw the team like, they're actually awful. Like, what have we got here?
That's the classic argument that you could have till whatever the saying is, you could have till the cows come home. Did Ferguson leave him in a good position or a bad position? His argument will always be, I left him at champions by like 15 points, I think they won it by. And then the counter argument is, but... It was an aging team with no players, and that was up there. He squeezed every last bit of them, but that's what a top manager does.
No, definitely. And Klopp, I think, is probably halfway through or started a year or two into it with like I said, the younger players, different players that you probably weren't quite sure of, and this season they're proving their worth, and I was surprised really. I just couldn't. I think of Liverpool, I think of Klopp. You just don't associate anything else with them. And their search begins, I suppose. So
like you said, the search begins. Possible candidates. I've got 10 candidates here and all their odds, and I'm going to say them in ranking of favourites. This is on Sky Bet. Xabi Alonso, outright favourite. Roberto De Zerbi, Pep Linders. I think he's currently the assistant there, isn't he?
At Liverpool,
Julian Nagelsmann, Ange Postecoglou, Ruben Amaron, I think he's the sporting manager, Thomas Frank, Stevie G, Unai Emery, and Xavi. I mean, I think you can discount a large proportion of them.
Yeah.
I think the top three, I wouldn't even say there's a top three, I think it's a top two. I think it's between Alonso or maybe De Zerbi.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype or noise around Alonso at the minute, obviously, because he's doing brilliantly with Leverkusen. But again, I don't know enough. I'm not going to pretend he's this and that. I don't know. But yeah, an old player stepped into management, doing well this season in the Bundesliga. So yeah, they might. He plays not a similar style, but seems to play attacking football. I think he's a different character to Klopp. I don't think you can replicate Klopp in any way in whatever you do. But yeah, you've seen it with many other clubs, even Liverpool themselves. After someone who's done so well, it's finding that right person and trying to continue it and trying to avoid totally dropping off. And yeah, I think that's a very difficult decision. But De Zerbi, I don't know. Not sure. He's been thrown around a few times, hasn't he? Because of his first season, but then this season with Europe, they've slightly dropped off.
I think he's one for maybe Man United. Might look at. I can picture him at Man United more than I can at Liverpool.
I think he's always thrown in the hat now, isn't he? Because of he's new and he's obviously younger, and every so-called big club that's looking, that he's supposedly linked with City as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think like I said, Alonso, De Zerbi, positive shouts of Thomas Frank could be.
Thomas Frank would be.
I think it'd be all quite a brave.
That
choice.
Would be a brave one. I think Alonso, not necessarily safe, but it's not. I wouldn't associate Alonso. I know it might sound silly because he's not as experienced, but Alonso seems, as being an ex-player, seems a safer option than Thomas Frank.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you know sort of mean where I'm coming from there?
Yeah, no, I get it, and probably, Alonso maybe on paper would be. It sounds stupid, but I don't think Frank. Personally, I wouldn't. If I was Liverpool, I would not be looking at Thomas Frank.
Yeah, no, me too.
Because I can base it off Spurs of one example, but Nuno Espirito Santo, when he got thrown into Spurs, that jump was just too big for him, and he was just a terrible manager. And I think it could be quite a similar situation with Thomas Frank. He's built up Brentford and got them to the Premier League, and they're punching well above their weight. I just think the jump to Liverpool would be astronomical for someone like him.
Which is also a bit of tongue-in-cheek why I tweeted Jamie Carragher on Friday. Obviously, he came out and is very, very complimentary in the past months about the third best manager in the Premier League, Unai Emery. So surely,
it's only fair.
Surely, if one of the top two have gone, surely your first choice and only choice is to get the third best manager in the league. But no response. But yeah, that to me is always my argument. When everyone says, "Oh, he's a great manager," blah blah blah. You have him then.
Yeah. He's on the side of the road banging his Emery.
If he's that good, you take him at your club and you let me know in 6 months that he's not the third best.
But you're right though, and you know that
they wouldn't be happy with him.
If Carragher was on telly tonight, he would not be saying Emery at all. He'd be avoiding him at all costs, and Neville would be the same, and whoever else. So, yeah, I think Alonso will be built up in the media and the big choice, but I feel like they shouldn't go for him, but. Yeah, I wouldn't be right. Let's go straight for Alonso. I'm sure they're well aware, and they're probably well aware of the situation with Klopp. I'm pretty sure they didn't wake up Friday morning and be like, oh, we need to get a new manager. I think they'd be well aware of what's going on. I
think the Nagelsmann link potentially has some legs. I know he's currently the manager of Germany, and the Euros are in Germany this summer. So, and
his contract is the end of the Euros as well.
Yeah,
so he's only a short-term thing.
So maybe I think he's more suited to club football than he is national football. Still a young manager, so could put his stamp on it, but has had a bad experience at Bayern. But I don't think that necessarily writes him off entirely, because a lot of young managers have had bad experiences at Bayern.
I think Bayern is it's just quite difficult. It's like, what do they consider success? It's similar to a PSG situation that if they don't win the Champions League, it's not, you're going to get sacked. So yeah, Nagelsmann probably, maybe, I don't, on paper again, I'm not too sure. But yeah, like you said, just Klopp going is massive, and I hope they fail miserably for the coming seasons.
So touching on that point, does this give Liverpool a boost / motivation kick to go on and win it all this season? Like you said, they're in still in their 4 competitions. They've lost 1 game in the league, and that was away at Spurs with 9 men, and we all know what happened that game. Round 5 of the FA Cup after breezing past Norwich, and got a home draw to Watford or Southampton, depending who wins that. So you would imagine they'll go through that, then they'll be in the quarterfinals. They're in the final of the League Cup, and they're also in the next round of the Europa League, which is the round of 16 I believe it is. They have got a good
massive chance
of winning a couple of trophies to go out. And he said in his press conference after, it doesn't matter if I win all 4 or if I win none. I'm still leaving.
Yeah. No, and that's why I said it's a very realistic chance they could win all 4. And it would. I wouldn't surprise me if they win the double, domestic double, maybe FA Cup and the League Cup, and City beat them to the league, and they don't go far enough in Europa League. But yeah, I think could quite end that way with Klopp going out with at least 2 trophies, and is that, I don't know. Yeah, I just think whoever's the next person in the Liverpool job is going to be very, very difficult.
Got big boots to fill, and like you mentioned earlier, Fergie, they're going, no matter what happens this season, they're following a great and a great at the top of his game. It wasn't not so much when Wenger left. It was still probably added pressure that he was the only one there, but we were crap.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, but when Wenger left, he was much older.
He was wanted to go out.
And Ferguson, similar way, he's much older. That once he left, that was the end of Ferguson. He wasn't going to manage again, and Klopp he won't be, but he could be the manager of Man City. He could go to be Germany's manager. He could have stayed at Liverpool for 10 years and no one would have batted an eyelid. But yeah, you're right. He is very much on top of his game.
I think he did something similar at Dortmund, didn't he? He left after about 8-9 years, just randomly left and said, like, enough's enough. And that was his reason, wasn't it? He ran out of energy. And as much as I know you're not his biggest fan, you can tell he puts 110% effort into it, and it means a lot.
As a manager, he's for Liverpool and for your team, he'd be perfect. He's become Liverpool. It's a bit cliche, but yeah, and I can't stand him and his moaning, complaining. But yeah, he's everything encapsulated in Liverpool and what they are for the last 8-9 years. So,
and they've got Chelsea next on Wednesday, like I touched on the teaser, and then Arsenal away on Sunday. So the interesting about tonight's podcast is obviously we're recapping a bit of the news and the FA Cup games. But the time we next speak to you guys, in a week's time, there'll have been 20 Premier League games of football. So Liverpool would have played basically a Chelsea and Arsenal, and lots can go on in that time period. So it's a very interesting time of the season. And the transfer window, yeah, you said.
Yeah, busy week ahead.
Right, moving on to later on that Friday, Spurs took on Manchester City in the FA Cup. You were there with your brother and Jake?
Yep, took Jake panel.
Both been on the podcast, haven't they?
Both guests on the podcast. There was a lot of us there. Met some of the other lads, and it was very excited. People were looking forward to the game.
Early start, wasn't it?
Yeah, we finished the job we had very early, so it was a nice early afternoon. Early afternoon for an 8 p.m. kickoff, but yeah, it was built up perfectly, and everyone, like I said, everyone was very, very excited. But yeah, ended on a bit of a...
Yes, I got a few questions. Obviously, positive pre-match. You've got a very good record against City at the London Stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, should I say? 5 wins on the bounce, no goals conceded.
Yeah.
I saw Man City's lineup and I thought, okay, it's still a good team, but it's not.
Exactly what we said. We said it was almost the best opportunity we had to beat them in a cup. It was at home. It wasn't. If it was the semi-finals or final at Wembley, we lose. That's done. It's forgotten about. But yeah, it's at home. We didn't have a full strength side, but we had players slowly coming back. Yes, Maidstone started on the bench, but we weren't sure if he was going to start. We knew Haaland wasn't going to play. We had a suspicion that Ederson wasn't going to start. You never know if Pep, he might have turned up and played some rogue player out of position.
Rico Lewis holding midfielder.
Yeah, so we thought, maybe if there was going to be a chance to beat them, then we could do it tonight. But the record itself, 5 losses.
Thoughts on your lineup?
I think it's as good as it can be, really. Yeah, I don't think you could have done much else. Obviously, yes, the midfield if we had Sarr and Basuma and other options. But yeah, we were hoping Maddison would start, but obviously just come back from injury, so you understand. And yeah, that sort of perspective to it. And maybe he could have come on earlier, but yeah, I think the team itself, you couldn't complain with it.
So Man City started well and they scored after about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and it got
offside.
got disallowed by it was offside, but yeah, one of the marginal VAR call. The line actually gave it straight away, didn't he?
Yeah, but like half a shoe was off.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that sort of seemed to be the rhythm of the first half, as Man City just piling on the pressure. And you don't think you had a shot in the first half, did you?
No, we had one shot all game, so yeah, it was rubbish.
Would you think that was just run out of energy or just lack of ideas? Although Man City had I'm going to say slightly changed team, obviously it's still very good. I think you also had players out, and that probably was...
Maybe we didn't have our strongest side, but they were just far. You could just tell they were just far better, and they just kept us at arm's length. We felt like we couldn't even get out of a half. People watched the game and said we did okay, but it must have been an awful game to watch as a neutral. But yeah, we did okay. We kept the ball. We were trying to get out, but then when it was going forward, we just looked lost. And people were saying there was lots of runs Werner made, and that could have helped us if people were looking up and finding him. But yeah, we just looked like we were struggling to get out of our own half, and they just penned us in, and they weren't battering us in the goal, but yeah, they just looked class above. Foden looked very good. Rodri was brilliant again. Yeah, they are just the best team in the world for a good reason, really.
And they had chances. Obviously, Oscar Bob was ruled off offside. Vicario made a good save from Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne missed a golden opportunity when your mate gave the ball away. I think Foden nipped in past him and slipped it through to De Bruyne. Who hit it with so much power.
Yeah, I think he got a nick, but they obviously gave a goal kick.
Smashed the advertising hoarding. And then moving on, like you were in the 88th minute. Obviously frustration, but you could have got a replay out of it. Whether you wanted a replay or not is another question. Thoughts on the goal? Are you disgruntled there? Do you think VAR should look at it, or do you think keeper should do a bit better? Or do you think the keeper should be helped by a defender? Maybe
a bit of both. At the time, I almost didn't really care. It was just, here we go. But it is a foul. It is a foul. It's been given as a foul in the Liverpool Man City game. It's a free kick on the goalie, whether you agree with that or not. But yeah, those exact situations have been given all season. But you thought, Friday night we'll just forget it and we won't give it. But yeah, it was. I think it's just a free kick, and that's simple as that. But yeah, they scored, and it was fully deserved. I think we would have got spanked in the replay anyway. So yeah, the only other thing was Walker on. I don't know if you saw Walker's tackle on Udogie.
Yeah,
that wasn't. Again, it's been given as a red card the whole season. His foot was probably ankle level, if not higher. If you freeze frame it like they have done in the past in this season, it's a red card all day, but nothing given. But yeah, that was it. I mean, we had, like I said, we had one shot at home in the FA Cup, so yeah, we can't really have much to be disgruntled about.
Yeah, it's slightly frustrating. Obviously, I can sense your frustration with again, it's the hardest draw to get, but you didn't really lay a glove on them.
No, yeah.
So it's a bit like
I said. We did, those exact words. We just didn't.
And it's like we touched with Palace last week. It's a 41-game season for Spurs.
Yeah, it's just it was exactly how we didn't lay a glove. We're at home in the cup. All right, we might lose 3-0, but at least look like you're having a go and try and score. But I don't know. Obviously, they were trying. Like I thought, some players were very good. Romero was very good. Van der Ven had a good game. Udogie was good again, but everything in front of him just wasn't working. Johnson was just not involved at all. Richarlison was running and trying, but against the Man City, they just gobble him up. That sort of player, they just go, "Yep, thanks very much." If it's Son who's clever and making clever runs and very good, like very skillful player, can run him behind, then it's a different game. And that's why I think Werner was working well, but no one was at that point and could actually see what he was doing. But yeah, we just weren't very good. It was a very, very poor game from Tottenham.
You mentioned James Maddison was back. Did he get minutes?
He came on about the 72nd. Yeah, it's about 20-25 minutes. Yeah,
so
and it's good to see him back. But then he come on and they played Skip and Højbjerg behind him, and he was really far forward. It was just it's fine. Like, he's obviously coming back and needs to get
you
fit.
Can't ask for a much tougher game to come back to.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just chasing shadows. So Yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame.
I mean, even when City aren't at you see Rodri play there, and they're a solid team when he plays.
Yeah,
What's that stat? He hasn't lost. I can't remember the last game he looked at Football League Girls, but the 4 games he hasn't played this season, lost every single one.
Pep said now we're in the second half of the season, and we are starting to play games where if you lose competitions. He knows, and the team are fully aware of the situation and the part of the season they're in, and it just felt like that sort of point. So I wasn't like sitting there like, oh my god, Man City are unbelievable, but you could just tell they're levels above and they're fully in control of what's happening. I just think it's bad news for other teams. I just think they are here and they're going to show everyone how good they are. They're going to win the league. They're going to win whatever they want to win. So I just think they're very, very good.
And Nathan Ake scored the winner in the FA Cup 4th round against a North London club for the second year on the trot.
He did, yeah. I saw that stat.
Knocked Arsenal out last year, and did the same when he knocked Spurs out. Right, shall we move on to a brief little chat on two standout games from the FA Cup?
Yes.
So the 2 games we're going to talk about are Ipswich Town versus Maidstone. Is it Maidstone United? Maidstone United.
Yeah.
And the Black Country Derby, West Brom versus Wolves. So we'll start with the early kickoff on Saturday, and it was on. I wasn't really too sure what to expect. Ipswich apparently made some changes. Admittedly, I know very little about both teams involved, so
I couldn't.
My analysis and expertise will not be at the forefront here.
No.
But National League Southside Maidstone United pulled off one of the great FA Cup shocks to knock out Championship high flyers Ipswich Town at Portman Road. I mean, it could have been 3-0 in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, but 98 places between the two sides, so...
Goalkeeper, ex-Brazilian under-20, I think he was. I don't have his name.
Yeah. I saw Gavin Hoyt was playing for Maidstone.
Yeah, Gavin Hoyt, ex-Arsenal.
He'd already played one game?
One game, but his brother played a couple of seasons.
Is that Justin?
Justin Hoyt,
yeah. Okay.
Who then went on to Charlton, I think he was at.
Did he play for Borough, maybe?
Borough, yeah.
I thought, when I saw Gavin Hoyt, I thought it was that fella, Justin.
He is younger.
Yeah, okay.
Younger. But yeah, the goalkeeper was in outstanding form. And you need to ride your luck. If you're going to be a non-league team, to beat a championship team who are second, third in the table, you're going to have some luck. And they absolutely deserved it. Great counter-attack. And it was Lamar. What a finish that is, by the way.
What a brilliant.
Weak foot dink.
Yeah, it was classic counter from a corner. And it was a brilliant little chip.
And then, I don't know the name of the player that scored the Ipswich goal. He's on loan from Laramento or something?
Sarmiento, from Brighton, I think.
Brighton, yeah. Paul won back in the second half before Sam Corn stroked home the winner midway through the second half.
Yeah, Bedlam in the away and went at 66th minute.
And you mentioned Bedlam. I think that's an understatement.
That was the first goal, though.
Yeah.
That was the first goal when he...
4 grown men falling off roofs, sliding down.
That's the real reason we're talking about this game.
But there's a couple of stats. There's 4 stats I want to reel off, and... Any football fan knows, if you win this way, in hindsight, I don't think personally there's a better way to win. Yeah, you can go away and you can win 3-0 and play flash football and play Barca football and play like Brazil. But if you can basically picture how you're going to win and you're guaranteed to win it, as the away team, there's no better way to win than this. Home team, 78 possession. Your team, away team, 22. Shots, 38. Shots, 2. Shots on target 13, shots on target 2, corners 11, corners 0.
Maidstone didn't get a corner. Oh my!
2 shots, 2 goals.
Yeah,
let's go home. That's how you win. That's how you snatch and grab.
And they are
win.
I think you said earlier, but Ipswich made 10 changes, but their whole squad should be more than good enough to deal with a National League South side at home as well. They had plenty of experience. I think that Luco played. He's probably made 100 professional, over a couple of 300-400 professional appearances. But
there was a close contender for Loot of the Week. Was nearly Amari Hutchinson and Amari Hutchinson's brother. So this is very niche Twitter, Arsenal Twitter, basically. When Arsenal got knocked out to basically, I'll go back to the beginning. Amari Hutchinson was an Arsenal Youth Academy player up until last season. Then went to Chelsea because if you're not getting chances at Arsenal, the really logical thing is to go to Chelsea when they sign every single winger and under the sun to get a chance. So he went to Chelsea, obviously didn't get a chance. Now on loan at Ipswich. He put a tweet out 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, Arsenal lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup, and he basically put, "See, this is why my brother left Arsenal. The manager never gives any youth a chance." So, Amari Hutchinson playing, he's one of the 10 changes anyway, against non-league Maidstone, shipped at half-time. We weren't good enough.
You got taken off?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Where's your...
it was a bad day for Ipswich, wasn't it?
Bad day. But they didn't actually play that badly. Like 38 shots, 11 corners, 13 on target.
Yeah, it was
the
a
classic. Classic away FA Cup, the magic, all the cliches under the sun.
And you need
things you love to see as well.
You need the luck, and then, like you said, 38 shots. What more could Ipswich do? Yes, they could score, obviously, but Maidstone had everything for them. But I think the iconic moment was the first goal, and the videos that's been flying around, and that fan just tumbled from the upper tier, fell on someone's head or a couple people's head, and I don't think you could write it.
Jack was planning on doing that when we went to Hull, but
we didn't quite get the win. But that was brilliant, wasn't it? The videos, you get the one perspective from the home section, and then you have the video basically right on top
POV.
of the guy. Yeah. No, it's so funny. So good.
No, brilliant. And credit to George Elokobi, who's doing a fantastic job there. Mm-hmm. The only shame is yesterday's draw. And they were in the final 4 balls to be drawn out. And it was Maidstone, Sheffield Wednesday / Coventry, Man City or Luton. And they could have got a Premier League club. They could have got City.
Yeah, City would have been the one.
Even Luton would have been good. But you saw the sort of...
Yeah. The reaction, I thought the reaction was pretty rough, to be fair, but I also understand it because they were built up and they wanted Man City. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday away would be brilliant. And probably they might fancy themselves, maybe not against Coventry away, but Sheffield Wednesday are struggling. They might fancy another cup upset. But yeah, George Elokobi doing a wonderful job.
And moving from George Elokobi to one of his former clubs, so he did want it in the draw. What's he calling them? The Golden Palace, isn't he?
What, Elokobi?
Yeah, he's calling Wolves the Golden. He wants Wolves. He keeps saying Wolves. He said it when he got through to the. He was like, "I want Wolves. I want Wolves."
Right. No, I didn't know.
West Brom versus Wolves, the Black Country derby. Wow.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people realise or understood the rivalry, or because, and I mean this without being disrespectful. Whether they're two reasonably small, they're not. It's not a well publicised derby. Like you've got your Merseyside, your North London's, your Manchester. It's not one that's not a pretty derby, shall I say?
No, it is.
And also the fact that we've waited nearly 12 years for it to be played with fans. It was in the Prem back.
They played in 2021,
but obviously no fans.
COVID?
Yeah.
I see. Because I said the last game was at the Hawthorns between the two was in 2021 and it ended 1-1. But like you said, that's obviously the whole issue.
I don't know if you saw the drama that happened. It might have been last season when the under-21s played each other. There was a pitch invasion of fights.
There was a big old thing then. But I see. All right. And then the Wolves had not won at West Brom since '96.
Yes.
And there's been 11 games since that game, and yesterday was the 12th game.
Their first win at the Hawthorns since 1996. And this is one of those games I feel where the class between Championship and Premier League is quite evident. And if West Brom are going to have a chance, they need to score first. Yeah. The first goal killed it, really, because Wolves are playing nice football and they had a couple of chances on the counter-attack, West Brom. But when you've got a player like Pedro Neto with the top clubs looking at him, he showed what he can do.
That's exactly what I've got. I said Wolves are the better side throughout, and that now they are accomplished Premier League side. Gary Neal's doing a very, very good job. But yeah, like I said, Neto being looked at the best clubs, probably 40, 50 million pounds, and Wolves aren't even they're mid-table, low to mid-table, whatever it is. And yeah, West Brom are competing in the Championship, and they're obviously well off where Wolves are at the minute. It's probably hard for them to take, but yeah, you just saw the difference in quality.
I mean, you've got a player like Nelson Semedo that I don't think many Premier League fans would even bat an eyelid at, really. But he's played in Barcelona for a few years, countless games in Europe and things like that. And then you've got a player like Matheus Cunha, who Jim actually said it to me the other day. I said, what sort of guilty pleasure player have you got that you would like to sign but like it's never going to happen. He was like Mateus Cunha.
Yeah, it is.
He goes, he's got everything,
but
also ends up nothing. Like if you put it all together, put the whole package together, he'd be like R9. But he's got everything but
everything.
The end. You know what I mean? Like he does some things where you just think a player of your ability should not do that. But he's played for Atletico Madrid, played in the Madrid derby. He's played for Brazil against Argentina. He played in high level games, and it was a great. Once he scored, it was a good goal. He took it very well. If you asked him 2 years ago who are West Brom, he wouldn't have not a clue. But then he's there giving it all, tapping the badge in front of the baggies.
And, like circling the whole place, saying it's Wolves and all the rest. Yeah, it was good. A very good celebration.
And that goal then led to the scenes of crowd disorder. That halted play for 38 minutes. It's not nice to see, but it's also there was a lot of drama made about it.
I can't stand the commentator. I mean, I understand the guy in the studio, the main guy with Roy Keane, whoever it was, but so he just gets told to say the typical jargon. He hasn't got a choice. But Sam Matterface, my God, that just shows you that someone. I'm not saying fighting is good and all the violence is bad, but that just shows you Sam Matterface is so out of touch with what's going on. He gets probably taxied, stays in a nice hotel, gets a nice lunch and dinner at the football. Yes, he commentates, but he's clueless. He's never been at a pub at 11 a.m. for a 5 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday and warming up to playing your rivals and all that. And again, the violence, yes, they don't condone the violence, but they're just clueless, absolutely clueless.
One thing I want to say. It's an 11:45 kickoff on a Sunday.
Yeah,
I think that says it all.
Yeah, and they've tried
what game on earth kicks off at 11:45?
They've tried their best and they've still failed. Like, 11:45 won't stop a 45-year-old bloke from Wolverhampton having a beer at 8 a.m. with his Cheerios. Like,
if you've waited 12 years, you're gonna wait. You don't care whether you kick off at 6 a.m. or whatever.
The pubs will still be open. They could have gone to the extent they did for Newcastle Sunderland. That's probably what they should have done. But like go to a ground and you meet, get buses, and you have to show your ticket, all the rest of it. But again, I don't condone the violence. But just the comments from Sam Matterface.
Without being, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but this is proper English heritage. Two teams from the Midlands play each other. They haven't played each other in 12 years, and then they'll all go to work tomorrow. They'll be happy as pie. They'll all be mates.
And they live for that. Wolves fans, West Brom fans, that's their life. Their life is West Brom. Their life is Wolverhampton. That's the same. It goes for the whole area. It goes for most teams. But Birmingham, that's their life. Aston Villa, Leicester, whoever else. They live to go to the football, and many other clubs are like it. But like you said, that game has not happened for years, and it was like you said, West Brom were basically rubbish on the pitch. So how can we cause a problem and stir some stuff on this day? And it boiled over.
Yeah, the game was halted for 38 minutes. It came back and nothing happened. Wolves had a chance, a couple of subs, but that was. But Wolves, they look pretty good. They're into the fifth round. I think they've got a nice home draw. I don't know who they've got. I should have done my homework on that, but
I'm not sure. There's loads of draws Friday, wasn't there? So
Gary O'Neill has done a outstanding job there. I'll tell you that.
They're good,
for someone that didn't really fancy them. I had hold my hands up. I did not fancy them at all at the beginning of the season. I actually had him on my bottom three, but how I am wrong, and it's good to see because they play some good stuff.
Yeah, and they're very good at home. They get some very good results against the big teams. So Wolves are a decent side.
Right, let's have a quick little chat about super striker Dave Kitson. Wow, brilliant one. So we messaged Dave a while back, probably beginning of the month and early couple of weeks in January. 2 and 4th, and then we managed to get the recording done 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we obviously, Josh was kind enough to edit it all up for us and put the package on it and get it ready for last week. And we just thank you, Josh, for doing all that.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone who shared it, given us good comments on it and left reviews. And I think we've got over 100 listens or views over all the platforms it's on, and that helped us push into the top 20 on sports news on Apple Podcasts. So again, thank you for everyone listening to it and shows your support. He had some good stories though, didn't he, old Dave?
Yeah, it was good. It was I quite enjoyed that one. It was I didn't know I'd never know what to expect when we get the guests on and whatever else. But very very well spoken, and he like I said, he had some good stories. And again, you don't realise the people that he's played with or against and what he's done is you think, oh, Dave Kitson, or whatever. But yeah, he's played at the highest level, so yeah, no, it's cool. Very cool.
With the highest player, like you said. When he stories about Luka Modric and Paul Scholes, because he was a Premier League player, and he was like, but then there are Premier League players, there are players above players, and you don't realise till you play against them, you think, oh, Jesus Christ, these are good. Yeah, no,
it was cool. It was cool.
A few little promotion stories, and then his stuff with Portsmouth, Sheffield United, Oxford. There's all sort of links together, and you see players like Michael Appleton just lost his job at Oxford. He lost his job at Charlton.
Yeah, Charlton
in the week, and then it all links back to Dave. Dave knows
he knew that. He knew that he's rubbish.
But yeah, no, it's really, and hopefully we get someone else on in the short time, because it was we always enjoy doing them, and we enjoy the support we get back
I think
from doing
the response
them.
Everyone gives, and people listen to it, and they it's cool. It's just it's good to see people are interested, and they enjoy it themselves. So it's always good. And
we dropped a little teaser in the week, didn't we? That we might have some. Not that we would have him on. He was in our Who Am I, wasn't he? So was it? Aaron McLean got it again.
Aaron McLean,
and your mate Matt.
Matt Dever. He's also very good. But
so
we'll put one out for this week as well.
Put one out for this week. Hopefully, it will be a harder one. Well, Dave Kitson was hard enough.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously we knew Dave Kitson, but. Yeah, if I saw that, I wouldn't get it straight away. But I think we need to up the difficulty.
Well, whilst we're on Who Am I, do you want to go first, or shall I ping you across?
I'll give you my one first. So I've got 4, just same rules. 4 teams in a row. I'll tell you if it's a loan or a permanent, which might help. But so Swansea, Everton, Stoke on loan, Bristol City.
Swansea, Stoke.
Swansea, Everton, Stoke on loan, and Bristol City.
Ashley Williams.
Yes. You bastard. Well done. Very good.
Ashley Williams. Centre back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right. I've got 2. Do you want one, or do you want number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
Okay.
Please.
Feyenoord, Celtic, Barcelona, Helsingborg, Manchester United.
Henrik Larsson. Yes.
Do you want to go for number 2?
Go on then, number 2.
Shakhtar Donetsk, Borussia Dortmund, Manchester United, Arsenal, Roma, Inter Milan.
Mkhitaryan. Yeah, decent.
It's decent. Tell him that.
Yeah, no, good.
Yeah, well done. So we'll get one of those whacked on.
Yeah, we'll think of one between us and get it out there for the week.
Right, prediction time. It's my turn this week, isn't it?
Yeah, what do we do? We did the FA Cup, didn't we?
We did FA Cup, and we did Leeds Plymouth, which actually was a draw, so we're both
1-1. Both horribly wrong.
Right, Saturday. What games are on Saturday? Oh, Everton Spurs on it. God, that is a dross game. Dross Saturday day. Jesus.
We've got Everton away.
Everton Spurs early kickoff. Brighton Palace, Fulham Burnley, Newcastle Luton, Sheffield United Villa.
Oof.
Oh, wow. Championship. We could go back. I don't think I'm going to go back to the Championship, Let's just check any other European leagues. Yep, let's do Championship. And we're going to go from your beloved Hull to my Millwall. Hull versus Millwall. Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. It's at the KC, whatever it's called now.
Hull at home to Millwall. I want to go 2-1 to Hull.
2-1. 0-1.
Oh, no.
Up the wall. Right.
Yeah, Hull been inconsistent. Rossini for Liverpool job?
Could be. Right. Winners and losers. Shall I kick off my winner?
You kick us off.
So my winner and loser sort of link, but I will give you a slight caveat. Take what I'm about to say with a pinch of salt. My winner of the week is Manchester United winger Anthony. The Brazilian international, £90 million player, had 0 goal contributions before this weekend. However, he was playing up against 16th place League 2 Newport County. These classic away days can be hard. Evening game, could have been quite cold there. Could have been a lively atmosphere, so it sometimes could be the hardest place to play football, Anthony. But within the first 5 minutes, he'd got an assist, and in the second half, he got the third goal, ending a 31-game run without a goal. So, well done, Anthony. Played really well, and I've given you winner of the week, as I've also slated you on this podcast. But when you play well against tough opposition, I have to give you your credit. So, well done, Anthony.
Nice.
He is my winner of the week.
Nice. I'm feeling, I know you loser of the week is, but my winner of the week are the fans and football in general. Like you said, the Maidstone fan who fell off the top tier when they went 1-0 up. Maidstone winning that game itself. The Port Vale fan who ran on the pitch and chased the ref down the tunnel. The violence at West Brom. The Sheffield Wednesday fan that snuck into Coventry Stadium the night before. An absolute chaotic weekend of football. So yeah, that one's for us.
For us. How good was that video when he snuck into the Coventry?
Just having a pint of Guinness in a dark, weird meeting room. It was going off. I don't know what happened this weekend, but yeah, it was brilliant.
Last week of January in payday, I think.
Yeah, true. I think
everyone's dry Jan's gone out the window.
It's so true. I think everyone just lost their heads. But yeah, so the fans, winners of the week.
My loser of the week links to Anthony and is Marcus Rashford.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't going to be.
Were we going to say Anthony?
No.
Okay.
No. You actually brought it up 2 weeks ago on the pod when Marcus Rashford was 1-on-1 with Pedro Porro, slipped one home, ran off, doing that. You can't see because it's not on video, but he's doing the mouthing chime and whatnot. And Keane gave him some backlash and whatnot, and he's basically saying, "Shut up! I just scored again. First goal, Old blah blah blah," all that stuff. He hasn't played since. Obviously, there's been a little winter break, and his first game back would have been against Newport County, but he reported ill after being caught in a nightclub in Belfast on Thursday night. Reported ill Friday, didn't turn up to training or whatever.
Imagine phoning up sick and you play for Man United.
Something is going wrong. Ten Hag was questioned on it quite strongly, and he kept reiterating back, "It's an internal matter. Something's wrong there." What are you playing at, mate? Like, come on, you're 26, 17 years old. It stinks of the Jadon Sancho situation, where maybe they're both falling out of Ten Hag, and he's just... I think Ten Hag's got one of them personalities that seems to fall out quite a lot of people.
Yeah, it must be quite an awkward character.
But, come on, mate, you scored 30 goals last season, your best season ever for Man United. You got 4 this season. Something's wrong, and he needs to sort himself out.
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's what I've put for... He makes himself look like a tool for doing that silly chatty and he's out.
Yeah,
don't help yourself, do.
Yeah, he's gone out in Belfast and can't make it into work. So, yeah. No, my loser of the week is slightly different. I've gone for Blackpool's Jordan Rhodes. I actually got sent a video from Andy, who's been a guest himself, Andy Bowden. But yeah, they were Blackpool at home in League One and against Charlton at the weekend, and I think he's probably the miss of the season. He blocks. That's it. The goalkeeper gets the ball, launches it long, but Jordan Rhodes there to block it, probably 6 yards out, and he's got the whole goal. The ball's fallen to him, and he can't score from 6 yards with no one in the way. So yeah, terrible miss. I think they were either 1-0 up or it ended 1-1, so it might have been 1-0 at the time. But yeah, terrible miss from Jordan Rhodes. So loser of the week.
Yeah, I have seen that miss.
Mr. Rhodes.
It's quite bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awful.
Right, to wrap up, the teaser.
Oh, the teaser, yeah.
Liverpool and Chelsea both secured their place in the Carabao Cup final this past week and face each other on Wednesday night at Anfield. Can you name the 8 players to have played for both clubs in the Premier League? Not the 8, can you name 8? Sorry.
Okay. Fernando Torres,
Liverpool's number 9.
Yossi Benayoun,
Yossi Benayoun,
Raul Moraes or Morenas.
Yes, I've always liked Real Morelos.
Yeah,
I
good
wanted
player.
Arsenal to sign him once.
Yeah.
Benfica.
Now, Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson.
That's 4. Mm. Oh, it's quite difficult. Hmm.
There are some real obvious ones you've missed. People can be screaming at you.
Joe Cole. Joe Cole, sorry, not Joel Cole. Joe Cole.
Joe Cole, yep.
Oh, no, I'm struggling there.
Do you want a clue?
Go on, and yeah, yeah.
2 players currently play for each club. 1 player each side.
Oh, Salah. Mo Salah.
Yep.
Bloody hell, yeah.
2 more.
Trying to think who plays for Chelsea now. Mm.
You're going to kick yourself.
No, don't. No.
There's 2 obvious ones, and I think the rest are borderline.
Yeah, I'm like, this is gone
English.
That just means nothing to me. English. Oh my God, Sterling.
Raheem
Yeah,
Sterling,
bloody
yeah.
hell, got there in the end.
Still English.
Yeah. Is he
Retired, though.
retired? Yeah.
Striker. Dancing celebration.
Oh, Daniel Sturridge.
Daniel Sturridge.
Yeah,
T. Studge.
Yeah, I'm lost after that.
The other
Any
ones.
clues, or is it just all rogue names?
Nicholas Anelka.
Yeah.
Fabio Barini.
Ah, Barini, classic celebration.
Victor Moses.
Played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Did it? Oh, cool. Oh, God, yeah, I would never.
He only played once for Chelsea, but Dominic Solanke.
Yeah.
And then Boden Zenden.
Oh, yeah. They're all names I know. Zenden.
Yeah,
Zenden and Barini, classic Sunderland
Yeah.
players. That's why I didn't think of them.
But no, very good. Very good. Yeah, so you've got Yossi Benayoun, Joe Cole, Glenn Johnson, Raul Morelos, Mohamed Salah, Raheem Sterling, Daniel Sturridge, and Fernando Torres. Right.
Nice.
That wraps it up.
Yep.
Very nicely. And yeah, before we leave, we'd just like to say thank you for everyone that supported in the past week. Obviously, we dropped 2 podcasts last week, so for those that listened to both or listened to one, dropped us a DM or a text and gave us your thoughts and reviewed. I think we've got a couple more 5 stars on Spotify and on Apple, shall I say. And if you want to drop a subscribe on the YouTube channel, it all helps, and you'll get links to when we do guests and things like that. We post our shorts on there. Josh does really good shorts for us and edits some group funny videos for us, so it's always good. We always put stuff on there. We'll put them on Instagram as well. But like Jack always says, if you've got a mate who hasn't listened or a family member, just share it over there, and it all helps us grow. And it's a good little thing we got going here.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and yeah, if you haven't already, follow the Instagram as well, because like you said, the Who Am I's are on there, and there's random little videos and whatever that goes on. So yeah, again, just to echo what Tate said, and appreciate all the messages and people listening and whatever else. yeah, it's always, like we said, always good when we get a special guest on, like Kitson or whatever else. It's always exciting. So, yep, thank you once again.
Yeah, we're 81 podcasts down. By the time we touch, you'll be 82, and there'll be 20 more games. So we shall see what has in store. Hopefully, at least one of us is smiling.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we shall see. Right, again, thank you very much for listening, and stay loyal.
Stay loyal.